All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're diving into something really interesting, a project called Bodega Market. And they've got this pretty ambitious plan to completely shake up what are known as prediction markets. Okay, so let me ask you this. What if you could accurately predict, well, pretty much anything? I'm talking about the outcome of an election, the price of a stock, maybe even who's going to win the next big esports tournament. It sounds kind of like a superpower, right? Well, that's the powerful idea right at the heart of prediction markets. So let's get into it. What's the actual problem that a project like this is trying to solve? It really all starts with looking at how we make these kinds of predictions right now. So first things first, what even is a prediction market? Well, put simply, it's a platform where a bunch of people can speculate on what's going to happen in the future. Now, here's the cool part. When you pool all those bets together, you actually create this powerful, crowdsourced forecast of what's most likely to happen. It's kind of like tapping into the wisdom of the crowd, but, and this is key, with real skin in the game. But here's the thing. According to Bodega's Litepaper, the traditional way of doing this has some major drawbacks. See, most of these markets are centralized. That means one company is pulling all the strings. And when that happens, you can get a serious lack of transparency. And you're stuck with whatever limited options they decide to offer. So the paper argues it's time for a new frontier, a decentralized solution that actually puts the power back where it belongs, with you, the individual. And that's exactly where Bodega Market enters the picture. They're proposing a decentralized solution that's designed to tackle these very problems head on. So this is Bodega Market, and their mission, right from their light paper, is to create a permissionless and decentralized prediction platform. Now, those are two really important words. Decentralized, we've touched on, it's all about getting rid of that central control. And permissionless, which we're going to dive into in just a second, is about opening the doors for anyone to create. The end goal? To let us, the users, speculate, hedge against risk, and even just learn from that collective brainpower.
Okay, so let's break down decentralization a little more. What does it actually mean in this context? It's simple, really. It means no single company is in charge. Instead, control is distributed among the users. Every single transaction gets recorded on a public blockchain for everyone to see, and the rules of the game are locked in and enforced by something called smart contracts. Think of them as automated, unbreakable digital agreements. This whole setup is designed to build trust right into the system itself, so you don't even need a middleman.
All right, so that's the theory, but how does it all work in practice? And what, according to the light paper, really makes this thing stand out from the crowd? Well, this decentralized approach unlocks a really powerful mix of features. It all starts with trust and transparency, because every single transaction is right there on a public ledger. That transparency then gives you, the user, direct control and ownership of your own assets. And once you have that control, you get the freedom to innovate, to create new and dynamic kinds of markets. And you can do all of this while keeping your data private, since your identity can stay pseudonymous. And here you can see a sneak peek of what the platform actually looks like. You can really see that variety in action. I mean, you've got markets for huge sporting events like the Super Bowl, predictions on the price of crypto tokens like ADA, and even bets on financial stuff like an IPO. This gives you a really clear picture of that innovative freedom they're talking about. And this gets to the heart of that other word, permissionless. It literally means that anyone can create a market for anything, no asking for permission. You got an opinion on a super niche e-sport, a new tech trend that nobody's talking about yet, or even just some random cultural moment. The whole idea is you can build a market for it. And that just blows the doors wide open to a huge range of topics you just never ever find on a traditional, centralized platform. Okay, now let's get a little technical for a second and talk about the foundation this is all built on. Because the light paper makes a very specific case for why they chose to build on the Cardano blockchain. So, why Cardano? Well, according to the paper, it comes down to a few key advantages. First, it's cost-effective. We're talking really low transaction fees, which means even small bets are actually worth making. Second, it's highly secure, giving you confidence that transactions are final and can't be messed with. They're also building their own internal Oracle system. That's just a fancy name for a trusted way to verify real-world outcomes. And the whole thing is designed to be future-proof, built to handle way more traffic and scale up as more and more people jump in. Of course, a great idea is one thing, but execution is everything, right? So let's take a look at Bodega's roadmap and see where they're actually headed next. And as a pretty big sign of early support from the community, the project points to a successful public sale, where they raised over 1 million ADA. That's Cardano's native currency. That kind of figure shows there's some serious initial buy-in for what they're trying to build. And their roadmap lays out a really clear path forward. So after launching their main network, their V1, the very next big step is to open up that community market creation we were just talking about. From there, the plan is to roll out more trading features, like trading shares with locked odds. And then comes the final, and maybe most crucial piece of the puzzle, handing over control to the users through decentralized governance. That's what really completes the mission. So what Bodega Market represents is this bold attempt to build a totally new kind of forecasting engine. And it leaves us with a really provocative final thought. In this new frontier, will the future be predicted not by a handful of experts, but by the collective wisdom of the crowd?